Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. This will be the last webinar before the merger, so we are happy that you joined us. Maybe you've had the opportunity to already follow the previous session on locational spread. We've had over 200 people following us, so we are very happy with the turnout. We plan to do some more webinars next year to talk about the maintenance schedule and the super points. So if you like this type of communication tool, don't hesitate to say so, and we will try to keep that in the future. Today we are here to talk about the changes that will happen on transaction. But first, let me do a quick round of introduction. I'm Marine Aliel. I work at the marketing and sales division, and more specifically in the operational team. I am here today with my colleague Aude Chevalier.
Morning.
Which works in the same team as I do. And we also have Barbara Picherou with us.
Hello.
Barbara is a product manager at the marketing team. And she will act today as our timekeeper, and she will also monitor all the questions that you might ask during the webinar. Speaking of questions, we have a Klaxon tool that will be available anytime during the presentation. So make sure if you have any question to ask them, don't be shy. We are here to answer them to the best of our abilities. Well, so to talk about transaction, at the moment, the IT testing phase is done. So everything is ready for the merge. Everything works fine. So you will see more in detail during the presentation. Today we will have two main parts. So during the first part, we will talk more about all the change in the contractual points. So all the new points that will be introduced, all the old points that will be deactivated, and the impact that it will have on the current publication. And we will also give you some advice about how to handle the switchover on November 1st. And in the second part of the presentation, we will show you two examples of congestion situation. One example with a red alert situation, where we will talk about how we will interrupt sales and newly service. And the second example will be the last resort mechanism, the mutualized restriction. And that's it. So, well, if it's okay, we can now begin. So, changes in topology. With the merger, we will deactivate a lot of points, mostly the points related to the link between the current balancing zone, so the north to south link, and the GTS point. Speaking of the link, of course, after November 1st, all previously booked capacities will be cancelled, and they will no longer be subject to billing, so no worries about that. We will also deactivate the current VTP point, PEGNOR and TRS, and all the delivery pool points related to the north and south balancing zones, the global points, as well as the dedicated points to profile consumers and non-profile consumers, DP and DT point. Since all these points will be deactivated, we will introduce new points. So a new VTP called PEG. The new code is EG001F. We will also introduce a new delivery pool for all end customers on the GRT Gas network. The associated code is PL001F. And you will also have two new points for profiled and non-profiled consumers, DP and DT001F. Just a remark, All these points for the delivery pool, they are for the GRT Gas network. You are also network. You keep their own points for their customers. So we can take a look at the new contractual map. You can note that we have the new PEG at the center of France. We only have now one balancing zone. And we can also see that for the moment we still have two storages, North Atlantic and Sud Atlantic. These storages will be merged, but only in April 2019. So for the first part of the merger in November, you will still have two storages. So the new VTP PEG. We have tried to make all the operational conditions as simple as possible. So all shippers who already have a pre-existing access to either PEG Nord or TRS will be granted an automatic access to the new PEG. So if you're in that case, you don't have anything to do. We don't ask you to unsubscribe to the old PEG or to subscribe to the new one. The tariff will stay the same, so it's €500 per month. And a remark for the shippers who are only active on Tergas network and who already had an access to TRS. With your access to TRS, you were granted a shipper code on GRT Gas network. It's a code that starts with GF something. You will keep the same shipper code for all your nomination on the new PEG. So now, a few recommendations on how to handle the switchover on November 1st. First remark, if you have already made nominations for gas days after November 1st on the old PEGs, these nominations will not be modified, so you need to renominate all the trades for the gas days after November on the new PEG. You can already do so since Monday. Normally you have received a dedicated email about this. The new PEG and the code EG001F is already available for nomination. So don't hesitate to anticipate all your nomination to the PEG and to contact your usual operational contact to make sure that your nominations have been well received and processed in our system. For the contract who have a delivery date beginning before the merger and finishing after, then you need to nominate the quantities in two parts. The first nomination should be for the gas days before, until October 31st, and they should be done on either PEG Nord or TRS according to the contract. And you should do a second nomination for gas days beginning on November 1st, and this second nomination should be made only on PEG. We really advise you to make separate nomination files between a PEG on one side and all the physical points on the other side to make sure that if you have any rejection, it will not impact all your physical point. This is really important because if you send the nomination files for gas days after November 1st who contains deactivated points, the whole file will be rejected. So again, don't hesitate to contact us if you make those types of nomination. That way we can check with you if everything is in order.
And Marine, is that also possible to nominate forecast on consumption point?
No. You can only anticipate your nomination on the VTP. It's true that currently you can send a forecast of consumption several days in advance in the delivery pool points. For the new global delivery pool, it will not be possible. So you will only be able to send your forecast of consumption on October 31st.
Okay.
well, now that we've talked about all the new points, Aude will show you on the transaction portal or how they will impact the publication.
First, I just have a question, a technical question about the presentation. Can you share the presentation file? So
yes, the presentation should already be available on our website grtgas.com, right next to the link with the video.
Yes, I think so. Please don't hesitate to precise your need, but really normally this presentation is on our website. So,
yeah. Maybe Barbara, you can share in the Klaxoon the link to the page where the presentation is available.
Yes. Good idea.
Okay, for publication, we can go directly on transaction. We created a test client because it's important for us that you have that you can see the real screen that will be available from the 1st of November. So our client, GFTist. First, let's go to the confirmation notice. So confirmation notice, very small change in this publication. You have only one section, GRT Gas. You have the new points for delivery pool that Marine talked about. Sorry, we have a little IT issue with the title. Normally it's the France imbalance. And what is important to know in this publication is that this imbalance, the requested imbalance is just for GRT Gas side, whereas the scheduled one is for GRT Gas plus Teréga. So it can be a little bit confusing, but it's really it's two different sides. Okay, for confirmation, if we go to the allocation notice, so the allocation notice, as the confirmation notice, just one balancing section, the new points for delivery pool. And for the balancing, the TRS rules are extended to the TRF. So it's exactly the same. The trading region is the imbalance for the trading region, obviously. The daily imbalance is the GRT Gas part. And Q2 or Q4 if you have subscribed the Alizé service. So very small change in this publication too. And finally, we can see the balancing notice. So for the balancing notice, 2K0, one for the B zone, one for the H zone. The points, new points for the forecasts. So DP and DT for the non-profile and profile consumers. And you have also new points for the metering of non-profile consumers. So TT001H for distribution points and TC001H or B for the GRT Gas consumers.
Regarding all the timing of this publication, will the timing change with the merger?
No, it will be exactly the same timing as actually. And all this information, you have access to all this information on our website. We have published the specific guides that you can find following this link. You can go to customers. You have a transaction section here. You go to see the documentation. And you have all the specific guides. So the one who has changed is the one that is the one updated in August. So you have a confirmation notice, you have balancing notice, you have the capacity operational guide that we will see later in the presentation. So don't hesitate to go to these specific guides, and inside you have an example of a CSV file if you need. Okay, that's all for the publication. Let's talk about Vigilance Outlook. So up to you, Marine.
So, we are starting the second part of this webinar, and we will see the first example of congestion situation with the first mechanism, the interruption of sales and ULI service. First, a quick reminder of the general process of congestion management. So you have a Vigilance Outlook page where you can check the state of each limit. And then we have three main congestion mechanisms that you can use to solve this congestion. The first one is the interruption of sales, interruptible capacities, and ULI service. After that, we can launch a locational spread. That was the subject of our previous webinar sessions. And if the locational spread was not enough, then we can launch the mutualized restriction. It's only the last resort mechanism. So it will be the two mechanisms that we will see today. So first one, the interruption of sales and ULI happens when you have a red alert. So first, how will you know that there is a red alert on one of our limits? This information will be available on Smart GRTGAS. The website will really be your main point of information for all Vigilance Outlook data. So you have a dedicated page on the website where you will have several tabs. The default tab is within the section. Then you have a specific type for the gas day D+1. And then you have a third tab for gas day D+2 to D+5. So now in our example, we are within there, and you can see that we have a red alert on the limit NS2. Then you have a second column telling you the side of application of the management procedures. To remind you, we can always apply the mechanism on the upstream side of the limit or on the downstream side. In our case, we will apply the mechanism on the upstream side. And also reminder, this winter, all mechanism will be applied upstream anyway. Then you have a column telling you if we have a small impact works happening on the limit. And then the three last columns are for the congestion mechanism. So the first one is interruption of sales. And if it was activated, you have a little tick on the box, and the tick will remain all the time during the gas day. You also have a column for locational spread and for mutualized restriction. So now you can see that on this example, we only have activated the interruption of sale. You can also see on Smart GRTGAS a limit repository which details all the points that are included in the limits. Because for the first time, maybe you are, if you see NS2 upstream, it won't be obvious for you which points are concerned. So in this table, you can see that NS2 upstream superpoint, it includes the interconnection point of Dunkerque, Virtualis, and Obergelbach, and also 2 storages, northeast and northwest, and 1 LNG terminal, Dunkerque LNG. We wish to remind you also that the interruption of sales and ULI, it happens on a point level, not a super point. And we will see just that right now on the transaction portal. So you have seen that on Smart GRTGAS you have a red alert. You saw the little tick saying that we have interrupted sales. And now on the portal, you can go in the operation menu, consult your operational capacities, and consult the offer. So we are looking at the 3rd of October. Yes. So you have a section called Other Points. It means every point that is not a super point. And you can see on this section the 2 columns that concern you is the one called ULI status and Prisma auction status. So every time you see in this column the term fermé congestion, which means in English closed for congestion. Sorry, it's not translated. But well, you are learning new French words, so it's always good. So if you see fermé congestion, it means that we have interrupted the ULI service due to a congestion mechanism. You have the same term for a Prisma auction, and that way you can differentiate if the auctions are closed due to congestion or they are just closed maybe because there are no longer any capacity to book. So in our example, since we applied the mechanism to NS2 upstream, it means that we are interrupting sales in the entry direction. And so you can see the fermé congestion term on Dunkerque, Obergelbach, Virtualis, Dunkerque LNG, and the 2 storages for the ULI status. However, you only see fermé congestion for the Prisma auction for Obergelbach and Virtualis, because they are the only point in the NS2 upstream side that have Prisma auctions. Dunkerque is commercialized directly on transaction, and GRTGAS does not offer short-term capacities for LNG terminals or storages. That's why you have blank columns for these points.
Another question, Marine.
Yeah.
I can see Oltang, the exit
Yes.
of Oltang, and I think that there is other points that are considered as bonus, but I don't see them in the screen.
You're right. Speaking of Oltang, I forgot to tell you that since we are applying the mechanism on the upstream side, it means that we are only interrupting sales in the entry direction. So Oltang, which is a point, an exit point for France, from France to Switzerland, this point is not subject to the interruption of sale. So you can see in the screen that the status of the ULI for Oltang is fermé, which means closed, because the Prisma auction are still open. And you're right. Oltang in the exit direction is the only one that you can see right now, because on this screen you only see point direction that are eligible to the ULI service, and we only offer ULI in the main direction of the point. For the other points who have an exit direction, like the storages, in the winter time, which is the case in our example, the main direction is considered the entry one, withdrawal. So the exit side, which represents the injection action, is not eligible to ULI, so you won't see them on the screen.
Clear.
Well, I think that's all for the red alert example. So
I have a question.
Yes.
For which services do we need to sign new contracts until 1st of November? Or will you send amendment agreements for the existing contracts?
I think the only service where you need to sign a new contract is the locational spread contract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you have questions about that, you can look again our webinar dedicated on this. They had a whole portion on how to sign the new contract. Other than that, I don't see any new contract that you need to sign for November.
Okay. No.
Okay, so for the disappearance of North to South link, it's only amendments about the existing contracts.
Yeah, they won't have anything. They will have an update on their capacity portfolio, where you can see that all the capacity subscribed on the link will disappear. But
yeah, I think it's the
nothing to actively do on the ship side.
Okay. It's okay. Don't hesitate to ask questions.
Yeah. I hope it answers your question. If not, please don't hesitate to precise it. Okay, so if that's all, I leave Aude to talk to you about mutualized restriction.
So, mutualized restriction, how to pronounce? When do we launch a mutualized restriction? For example, you nominate at H-2. You are scheduled at a little bit before H, and this scheduling leads to a red alert. So we launch a locational spread, and unfortunately, this locational spread is unsuccessful. So in this case, we will launch a purple alert and a mutualized restriction. Where this information is displayed, in Smart GRTGAS on the Vigilance Outlook. So here you can see that we launch a mutualized restriction, so red alert, purple alert, in NS2 upstream. And you have the tick on the box mutualized restriction. And in this case, you will always have a tick on locational spread and interruption of sales and ULI, because we always are in a red alert before going in the purple alert.
Do we expect to have a lot of mutualized restrictions this winter?
No. Normally it will be very rare, because we really hope that the locational spread will work well. Thanks to you. You will also receive an email from infovigilance@grtgas-teruga.fr. So in this email, you have the super point impacted with the direction, because we can curtail the exit or the entries. You have the new hourly effective capacity and the starting time. And you also have the points that are impacted. As a reminder, for this winter, we will not activate downstream super point, so the super point with in common with Teruga. So we will not. We are not explaining how does it work now. We will explain I think in a webinar at the beginning of next year. That's all for the email. So the mutualized restriction will be taken into account in transaction in the next programming cycle. So the one that began at H+2 and scheduled at H+4. And the restriction is visible on transaction through the maintenance schedule or your operational capacities. So if we take a look to this publication, so So for the maintenance schedule, you can go on Operation, consult the maintenance schedule. If we take, for example, the 4th of October, sorry, it's a little bit long. It's our test environment. So okay. So you can see the super points activated. So SP NS2U for the NS2 limit upstream, and you have the restriction rate. We really advise not to use this rate because it's a daily rate, so it's an average. And it doesn't take into account the pro rata temporis. So it's not really relevant to know your remaining rights. So we advise you to go to your operational capacities notice, where you can find your guarantee COA. So in operation, consult your operational capacities. You have the notice you can find the notice also on clicking in the find. But here, so if we check the force, your guarantee COA will appear. And it's a quite important data because it really it's a maximum that you can nominate by being certain not to be curtailed, because it's your quantity already passed for the past hours and your effective capacity for the remaining hours. So it's really an important value in case of mutualized restriction, but in case of
force majeure
event. Yeah. So in a case of intraday restriction. So you can see here your guaranteed COA. You also have your planned COA. It's for the past hours, your quantity already passed as the guaranteed COA. And for the remaining hours, it's your last scheduling. So it's taken into account if you nominate Yuli or if you nominate under your COE. So it's quite interesting data too. Okay, for this publication, the next screen that I want to show you is the consult the offer. So Marine showed you that in case of red alert, we will cut the Yuli. But if we go in a purple alert, we will reopen it. So you can see in the screen, you have the super point that is activated, and you have all the points included in the super point with the Yuli status at ouvert/open. And also, Olting exit is closed because it's in the opposite direction of the super point.
So Olting exit is not subject to the mutualized restriction either.
No. As well as the storage in the opposite direction.
I have a question regarding the maintenance schedule that you showed. The mutualized restriction will only happen within day, but the maintenance schedule is only published once a day. Yeah. The day before, around 3 p.m. So how will the shippers be able to have this information since it's published before it happens?
Yes, don't worry. We will publish at every mutualized restriction. We will automatically publish a new maintenance scheduled. And by the way, we improve our timing because from the 1st of November, you will receive your maintenance schedule, so all your effective capacities, 1 hour earlier than today, so a few minutes before 2 p.m. So you will have your effective capacity for the first cycle of 2 p.m. So it's a good improvement. I think that's all for the mutualized restriction. So what is really important is to follow the vigilance outlook. And I think, Marine, that we have a quite interesting tool for you to follow the vigilance outlook.
Yes, first I just have a question. It was a
Perfect.
question about EDIGAS. So for the sending of EDIGAS files after the 1st of November, do they get sent to GRTGAS as they currently are, but with the new allocation codes? So the person thinks there is no change of connection with EDIGAS. Is it correct?
Yeah, for the connectivity part, it stays the same. So if you currently send or receive EDIGAS file, nothing will change, except that you have a small change in the format of the file because you need to use the new points. We have updated our EDIGAS offer and guide. So if you send an email to your operational contact, we can send you the updated documentation with all the example files for each EDIGAS file in it. Basically, the file stays the same, except that for
new points
for a PEG or for the allocat file, you will only have one balancing zone. Everything is described in the new documentation, so you can write to us and we will send it to you, or you can put your email address in the chat, and then we will directly send you an email with the edited documentation for EDIGAS.
Okay, thank you.
So this wonderful tool.
Sorry. Yes. So the tool, the API request on Smart GRTGAS. Yes. So we've said several times that Smart GRTGAS will be your main reference for all Vigilance Outlook data. To make sure that you can automatically get the data and be informed without having someone staring at the screen all day, you have two main ways of requesting data from our API. One is the existing link that are visible on Smart GRTGAS. For that, you need to go on the subscription section. It's a link at the top right of the website. When you're on the subscription page, you need to go on the B2B tab, where you have two different links. They are highlighted in yellow in the presentation. This link gets you data either in the XML format or CSV format, depending on your preferences. And it gets you data, all the data present on Smart GRTGAS, so including Vigilance Outlook data for the period D-1 to D+1. If you are only interested in Vigilance Outlook data, you can also use a specific link. It's the one in blue in the presentation. And in that case, you will only get Vigilance Outlook data, and you can personalize your link by choosing your own start date and end date, and in that way choosing the period you get data for. All these links will be, they are not active yet. Well, the existing one are active, but they don't include Vigilance Outlook data yet. And the specific request for Vigilance Outlook is not active yet. You can start using them, a few days before, November 1st. we will start publishing Vigilance Outlook data 5 days before November 1st. So if you have any interest in this option, don't hesitate to contact us, your usual person, or you can also write to transmission-ops@grtagas.com to request more information if you need assistance with that. We think it's a good way for you to get information in real time, and that way to not miss when we go into red alert and launch a locational spread.
Okay, Barbara, do we have more questions?
Mm-hmm. No. No more questions for the moment.
Oh, don't hesitate to ask questions. In the meantime, I can show you the TRF section on our website, because it's really full of very interesting information. So when you go back to the main page. Thanks, Maureen. So if you go to customers, you have a TRF section here. So here you can find this webinar. You have the previous one in French or for the locational spread. You have all the previous presentation as well. And you have the link for the transmission toolbox. And in this toolbox, you have a lot of small forms, really interesting with all the new all the changes with the merger. So you can see that we have a lot of new one. Here you have a lot of form for the locational products. You also have the pay points, the list of the limits, the guaranteed COA. I think you have also here the mutualized restrictions. So don't hesitate to read this small forms. It's really helpful. And what can we say? The next communication, you will receive an email regarding the switchover, I think next week, and an email for the time change also. And then we will be the 1st of November.
Okay, so don't hesitate to ask new questions. So for the moment we have no new questions, so I can maybe ask you the other questions that we had in the French session last week. So we had one question. In case of red alert and the interruption of sales and ULI, do you send an email to the shippers?
No, there will not be an email sent. The only email you will receive for congestion procedures are for the launch of a locational spread and for the mutualized restriction, not for the interruption of sale. That's why it's really important that you check frequently on Smart GRTGAS, either by looking at the screen or by using the API, to make sure that you are aware that a red alert is ongoing and that we may have interrupted sales auctions.
Okay. I have two more questions. Will the mutualized restriction rates apply on coming hours to Prorata?
No, it's really it's a daily rate, so it's an average. So it's not your rate for the remaining hours.
Okay. And last question: the maintenance program contains new SuperPoints codes?
Yes, you will have all the SuperPoints that we can activate regarding the north to south flow. You have the four previous SuperPoints, SP001, 2, 3, and 4. we keep these super points, but we change the name. It's N1, N2, etc. So you will have new super points.
Okay, so please don't hesitate to ask more questions. And I can see that you are invited to rate our presentation. So 5 stars is the best note. And so please tell us if this was useful for you today. And if it was useful, we will continue and through this kind of presentations.
Since we still have a little time, maybe I can show you some of the changes that will happen on our Smart GRTgaz website, because we are starting to receive quite a lot of questions about that. So we can take a quick peek at the new website. So you can see that you have the Vigilance Outlook button, which gives you access to the new dedicated Vigilance Outlook page that you saw in the presentation. And you will also have new menus. Basically, the idea is that every data that is currently published on the North Balancing Zone or the South Balancing Zone will not only be published on the Global GRTgaz Balancing Zone. So it impacts, for example, the consumption menu that have a lot of interest usually. So you will have a dedicated GRTgaz section, and the current North and South section will no longer be updated. So you will get all your new data only for the GRTgaz section. In the download file, it will translate into the same file but with a new tab for the GRTgaz section. Same thing happens with balancing section. For example, the projected closing line pack, which is a very useful section to follow our balancing intervention on PowerNext. You will only have one closing line pack to look at. It's the one called GRTgaz, and the old one will no longer be updated. Same principle with the end of the day imbalance position, for example, and for the balancing prices, you will have a new menu, TRF, because the prices are the same on GRTgaz and our TerraGas network, and this section will be updated as soon as November 1st. So that's it, basically. All 4 capacities and flows, since they are published on a point level, you won't have any changes for this section, except that the north to south link will no longer be updated. And you will also have a new section, locational spread, which will be dedicated to reports on all the locational spreads that we've launched, and you will see the time of the launch, the limits that were concerned, and the quantities asked, quantities bought, and the prices of the operation.
Okay.
Well,
so we don't have any more questions.
Well,
okay.
So everything was clear?
Or completely unclear?
Let's stay positive.
So what there were a lot of information in this presentation. What are the main things people have to remind now?
Well, start anticipating your nomination on PEG as soon as possible. Check with us, make separate nomination files. That's for the first part, mainly. And for the Vigilance Outlook part, well, always check Smart GRTgaz. Keep up with our locational spread launches, because it's really the key to the system, and to not enter into the mutualized restriction part. And
so sign the locational spread contract for the 1st of November if you want to participate. Yes.
And
So-
if, unfortunately, we have a mutualized restriction, please follow your guaranteed COA. That is the most useful data that you will have on this case. Everything is explained in the form that Aude showed you on the transmission toolbox. So it's a really short document. So it should make everything clear.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Okay. No.
Okay.
No more questions. So.
So thank you very much.
Thank you for
Thank you
following
very
us.
much.
And well, have a nice day.